so today we have the December 13th beer from the Bell's Brewery Holiday Advent Variety Pack. This is Expedition Stout. Now, this is the vintage version. This is the 2015 version, packaged on 11/6/2015. 10.5% ABV. I'm not sure. I'm almost 100% sure there's a 2019 version in there. And I think on the cherry, what they did was you had the newest first, then you had the vintage. Also, for the Third Coast Ale, I think we had the vintage, and I'm not sure if there's this year's in there. So at least on this one, because I know there's two cherry stouts, I'm not sure why they didn't do the this year's one first, then the 2015 version. But oh well. So I thought I had this, but maybe it was the 2016. A year, I think it was last year, I did a side-by-side of the 2018 and the 2016, or maybe it was longer than that, and I have had the 2015. I didn't go back and look. So hopefully this has aged just like the cherry stout, and it's also very good. I'm sure it will be. I do like Expedition Stout, so you really can't go wrong. I was going to look on here. I wasn't sure if they consider this an imperial. Nope, it just says American Stout. Okay. I mean, 10.5%, I don't think you can call it a standard stout, because to me, their Kalamazoo stout would be the standard stout. Then this would be like the imperial version of it. So it is into the glass. We do not have a head. I'm guessing it's because it's aged. And we actually have a bubble sitting on the top. I'm going to see if I can get a picture or a video of it, and I will show you. Never mind, it popped. Never mind. I guess I'm not going to do that. I can smell it, but what head I did have is it was like a dark caramel color head. I have a few bubbles around the side, and I would say they're medium. I can see some bubbles coming up from this. Let's go with color. Color is black. I do have a dark amber hue at the very bottom. This Bell's glass does come down to a teardrop, and it is, a dark amber color. This has probably been sitting out a half hour. I do have these out in the garage. I think last night it was 19 degrees, and I think an hour or so ago it was 32 or something like that. So I did let it warm up. Is it as warm as it should be? Probably not. But I believe if you do go to Bell's, you're going to get this out of the tap. It's going to be colder than what you should probably drink it at 55 degrees. Let's go ahead and smell. Dark fruits, figs, plums. You do get some sweet roasted, very dark roasted malts in there. A little bit of chocolate sweetness in there. It almost smells like an oaky, like has an oakiness to it. But we know this isn't the barrel aged version. Yeah, I think just from sitting over the years, it's 4 years old, a little over 4 years now. I think that alcohol with that very dark roasted malt is coming off kind of oaky. I don't know if anyone's ever done it, but it would be interesting to see if you took like a 4 or 5 year old stout and put it in a barrel and see what it did after that long. Not put it in the barrel, then age it for 4 or 5 years, but age the beer, then put it into the barrel and just see. Because it reminds me of that barrel aged Expedition Stout, I think from last year. You don't get the bourbon, off of it, but there is like a sweet oakiness in there. Let's go ahead and taste. Very thick, almost like a molasses, dark, bitter chocolate. Um, at the front of the palate, as it goes to the back, you do. I get that bitterness a lot through there, um, but you do pick up that almost burnt roasted malt in there, and in the aftertaste, it's like a chocolate roasted coffee, almost burnt coffee. Like it, like the chocolate. The thing that came to my mind was a Tootsie Roll, but it's not that sweet. Like it's that bitter chocolate that's coming out of there, but the aftertaste is more chocolate. Hmm. I don't know. It almost seems like it's off, like that almost astringent, pretty much burnt roasted malt in the back shouldn't be there. Maybe it's going downhill, but it's like the front of the palate is nice and smooth, a little bitter chocolate in there, roasted malt, and then it turns. It's almost, I'm almost thinking, now I have not had this year's batch, so I'll have to taste it, but yeah, it almost seems like it's losing some stuff, or it's changing into that nice, well meshed together beer, and it's like halfway there. Yeah, yeah, you get that very deep, dark chocolate bitterness in there, and then yeah, like halfway through the palate, it just turns to pretty much an astringent, almost overburnt roasted malt. Still good. I would still drink it. I would have, I expected it to be a lot smoother with 4 years on it. Maybe it's still a little cold. That's why that's coming off like that. But I'm still getting it. On this, I would probably have to go with a 4.25 out of 5. I don't like that astringency of that all pretty much burnt roasted malt in the back there. So yeah, 4.25 out of 5 for this one. Looking at Untapped, none of my friends have checked this in. 20 people have checked it in. Average 4.34 out of 5. Let's see if somebody says anything. Okay. Now, somebody had it 16 hours ago and says seems to be showing its age a little. And like I was saying in the review, it seems like it's going downhill. So I don't know if that's what he's going for, because he says, but still drinking well. And that's kind of what I thought in the back. Uh, no alcohol or hop bitterness. Has aged very well. Everybody's going to be different, obviously. A bit of syrup, but nothing else wrong. Bit syrupy, sorry. So yeah, definitely one I would still say if you can get your hands on it. And again, like I said in some of my other reviews, usually when Bell's puts out a new vintage of like a cherry stout or Expedition Stout or Third Coast Old Ale. They also put out a vintage of it, and so you should be able to get this if you're around Bell's or you stop by Bell's. You should be able to pick up a vintage of it. I think they had the 2016 out in the Expedition Stout, and I think I got one. But yeah, definitely still a good one. It's just if you have any old ones laying around, you might want to drink them, and if you do, leave a comment to let me know how yours is doing. So if you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when new videos are coming out. And until next time, happy brewing.